The best advice I could give any beekeeper, especially new beekeepers, trust no one. I've been beekeeping for 7 years, and most of my problems have been because I trusted somebody. My second winter, I had seen a video on YouTube of somebody putting their bees in a building during the winter with no windows, no light. I did that my second winter during the polar vortex. Through January and February, my bees were inside. I brought them out in the beginning of March and realized my queens had not been laying during the month of February or January, so the colonies had gotten smaller. So they were outside in March, and it got down to the teens for a couple nights, and the brood was destroyed. And that set me back quite a few weeks. So I don't do that anymore. I put small colonies inside, but with a window so they can see the sunlight, and with them having chances to do cleansing flights when it's warmer, I bring them out on my deck here, or I set them out on these road sign posts. And I followed Kirk Webster for a couple years, did no mite treatments, and that was a disaster. I almost got wiped out completely. So then I switched to foliage Russian bees, and if you go to his website, he claims his bees are resistant to mites, and they're, la 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 about how good they are, and it's just all a bunch of crap. Look at my videos. I started videoing after buying his queens and finding out that his product or his queens were no good. I almost got wiped out with foliage Russian bees queens. But I did have some Italians left. At the same time, I had Russian bees, and I bred my own queens for the last couple years. And then I switched to this Formic Pro formic acid to kill varroa mites. I used it in fall of 2018. It seemed to work that first winter I used it. But then I went and I used it again in 2019, and it did not kill the varroa mites. And I almost got wiped out before I switched to acylic acid. But the damage had already been done. During the months of September and October, the varroa mites were in my colonies, destroying my winter bees. And therefore, I've had to work really hard to keep my bees going through winter. The larger colonies have done all right because they were larger and they'd gotten more bees from setting hives on top, colonies on top in that fall, and they gathered up a lot of bees. So they were able to maintain a sizable number in the colonies to keep going. But the smaller ones I've had trouble with, and I've gone through these the last couple days, and I've taken the deep away they weren't using, and I'm sure I'll be giving them a deep soon because they're not all that small. They're not in a deep. I take it away. I don't want wax moths to get in there, and it's starting to get cold out now. They're clustered around the brood. That's why you don't see any bees. So I don't trust the weather forecast either. They said it's going to be in the teens tonight, and it's usually colder than they say it's going to be. So I'm going ahead. I'm going to bring them in. This is probably the last time I bring them in because it's March 20th. And you got to have equipment to move your hives around because you just can't lift them up. And I tried that a couple years ago and gave myself a double hernia. It wasn't a good idea. So anyway, I've got some in here already. And I'm going to be bringing these in. And I had, if you see my videos, I had them stacked in the windows during winter. But in order to get access to them rather easily, I taken out most of them, and I've set one row in each window, and all I got to do is lift that up and prop it up, and I can get into that hive to check that colony rather quickly. So this will be the last time, hopefully, that I have to bring them in. I won't recover from the Formic Pro not working last fall until the summer, when I finally recover and I start breeding my own queens again. And I'm going to be using acylic acid several times throughout the summer to keep the varroa mites under control. And there's one large colony over here that I didn't move. I moved them over to the east side of the house, and I put small colonies out here trying to get the bees to come back, but apparently they knew they were moved and they didn't fill up the smaller colonies. But this is a large colony here. And every time I open it and check it, I risk killing bees. So I didn't lose all my colonies, just the smallest one. I've lost like 10 of them during the month of February and March. And I lost 10 last fall from the Formic Pro formic acid killing my queens. So all in all, I'd say a 25% loss due to formic pro, formic acid. And I've made a couple mistakes. I had one colony needed honey, and I knew it, and I didn't get to him right away. And then I had another queen that wasn't mated well last year, and she refused to lay, and she was really small, so I killed her myself. So, but I'll make up my losses this summer, and I'm going to be using acetic acid, and hopefully I'll never have any product that I ever use again that doesn't live up to the claims that the producer and the manufacturer claims. Okay, thank you.